about quality control, feedback, or whatever you want to call it. And when you're an academic, you live in a culture of feedback and quality control, perpetual. And at every step of our career and basically every activity that we deploy in our career will be subject and has to be subject, to procedures of quality control. Think of reviewing when you send in a manuscript to a journal or to, like annual appraisal with HR and so on and so forth. Now, many of us have got very negative experiences with these procedures of quality control and feedback. They are experienced as being unfair, discouraging. Think of negative reviews of manuscripts, of articles you submitted to journals. Very often feels as if, the quality control has been done by somebody who is absolutely uninformed, uninterested, and unengaged, with the sort of work that you do. So let me tell you something about quality control and feedback and so forth. There is a sort of existential level of quality control that all of us need when we're in academia. And that existential level is the level at which you really want to know whether you are in the right place. So you're an academic or an aspiring academic, and you really want to know whether you are good as an academic, all right? So that's what I call the existential level of quality control and feedback. Let me tell you my story about how I handled, that existential level. Long ago, when I started out in an extremely provincial and very, very small academic world. I started out at Ghent University, so the Flemish part of Belgium, half of Belgium, right? If you look at the map of the world, Belgium is very small, half of that. One university in half of that. It was a very, very parochial environment in which, the work of an academic was for the majority of the colleagues, with whom I had a lot of interaction, was actually weird in the sense that they didn't practice it. Right? They came to work 9 to 5, and they felt all right about it. They performed certain duties that could be called academic duties. But when it came to appraising and judging the quality of academic material, they hadn't got a clue. I realized that because I myself, was felt that I had been treated or was treated very unfairly and unjustly by these colleagues on a number of occasions. So I realized very early on that if I wanted to have a clear idea of whether or not my stuff was good, worthwhile, and significant, right, that I needed to find other people. And so from very, very early on in my career, I started building what I used to call my ideal department. And that was an international network of very close colleagues, people working in my fields or adjacent fields, all right? Largely inspired by the same sort of theoretical, methodological drive, but also very, very good people, very, very good scholars, very prominent scholars. And with these people, I collaborated for the best part of 2.5 decades, all right? So that's how long we sustained that interaction, okay? And what we did was we formed a network, of course, and we operated as a network. So we did all kinds of things together. We organized stuff together. We convened. We wrote together. We supervised together, and so on and so on. So we did a lot of work together. But the most important thing was, you know, that we systematically read and appraised each other's work. All right, meticulously and without any mercy. And so the sessions in which we discussed each other's work were sometimes brutal. There were sometimes merciless and vicious and aggressive and what have you, but without any bad feelings. Okay, because we knew that what the other said was inspired by a desire for quality. All right, and it was from that particular perspective that flaws, small or big ones, were identified. Okay, and it was always from a perspective that if I identify a flaw in your argument, it doesn't mean that you are stupid, right? It doesn't mean that you can't do an analysis. It doesn't mean that you have a mind that's not made for science. No, no, it's just one little error, one little flaw in one article that you're writing or in one project that we're doing, and we need to get it right. Okay. Now, having such a network liberated me. It liberated me, you know, from the pressure of having to wrestle with myself and with, like, you know, the reviews that I got from reviewers, from journals, or from ground-giving bodies, you know, or from my own immediate environment in my university. Okay, and in very many ways, all right, my immediate environment in my university, certainly when I was working in Flemish universities, was the last community of academics whose opinion I needed in order to feel okay about what I did. So what I did was I delocalized and I decentralized the entire system of appraisal and quality assessment and feedback and so on and so on. I internationalized it. And in a way, while it became very personal, these people became very close friends. People like Ben Rampton, you know, Sirpa Leppinen, and so on and so on, became really very close friends. At the same time, there was detachment, right? So they were not interested in any other argument than the quality argument. My advice to you is try to build a network of like-minded people, people who are in the same sort of environment, and you will see how very important they become in understanding yourself as an academic, in understanding the quality you produce, where you are in the field, right? What your contribution might be, okay? And they will give you an honest appraisal, right? A non-biased, a non-prejudiced appraisal about that. That's super valuable. In my life, it has been the instrument, you know, that at so many moments gave me the breath to continue the work, right? In an environment that would otherwise be very discouraging, okay, and very off-putting. I never needed my head of department or dean or whatever, you know, to tell me whether what I was doing was good. I had much better people, you know, to talk to me about those topics. I advocated basically for everybody. Good luck with it, and you will enjoy the interactions and also the collaboration. Good luck.